Hello, MJ. My name is Sean Everett. I'm the website analysis expert over at Zucore Marketing. Thank you so much for talking to Shanique. She sent your website over to me for analysis, so let's just get right into it. First off, you guys spent some money on this. This is a beautiful website. It truly is. You have some nice photos in here. You have a bunch of areas that are clearly from like the Boise area. And it's just great. But here's the thing. I am not so much interested in the aesthetic part of it. The aesthetic part is something that will cause people to start clicking once they get here. But getting them here is what I'm going to talk to you about today, because getting them here is wholly based upon what is inside your website right now. And it probably just needs a little tweaking. In fact, in your case, I know that it does because you guys are neck and neck with a lot of your competitors. Now, the first thing I do when I'm looking at a website, of course, after looking at the website itself, is I go to this paid tool I have, which is called Ahrefs. Now, that is a site that gives me your metrics, shows me how your site has been performing, and then I go and do a Google search for Boise, Idaho roofer in this case. Now, I need to tell you a little bit about how Google works. First off, they have an algorithm, and that sounds like a really bad beginning of how to explain something. When I say the word algorithm, please don't have your eyes gloss over. But it's true. They have an algorithm that determines the placement of absolutely everything on their website. And that algorithm is looking for three basic things. I'm going to talk about them as we go along. And I'll tell you what those three things are not. They are not the best workmanship, the best work ethic, and the best materials. Those are not what those three things are. So Google has a little backwards in my book. Google wants you to have three things that have to do with your website. So you could be the worst roofer in the world, and as long as you have a website that conforms to what Google wants, you're going to get right at the top of the search results. Now, generally at the top, there are the paid ones. And a lot of people think, why would you need to pay to be in a list of the best, but that's not what Google is at all. Now, underneath the paid ones, we have what we call the map pack. These are folks who have done something that other folks have not. You're one of them, and that is fill out the Google business profile. And you did it well enough, thoroughly enough, that you got up here in the map pack. I don't have to describe more about that to you, except make sure that it is continued to be filled out in a very thorough way. Because if one of the other folks down here decides to do a better job, they're going to knock you out of the top. And you want to be near the top. There is a monetary value of being near the top of a Google search. Now, the number one roofer in the Boise area is Legacy Roofing. Now, they happen to have a list of the best roofing companies there. I guess they think they're being magnanimous, which is nice. But they are the first one that is listed, an actual roofer. Now, I did not look far enough down to see where you are, but I can tell you this, that most people do not go past the related searches. That's what research shows. Think about your own roofing experience. There you are. You're number 2 on page 2. That's not terrible. It's not. But there is a monetary loss to not being up here in the number 1 position. And these are what we call the organic search results. Now, I'm going to show you what Legacy's site is. You might have seen it yourself. Here is your site. I'm going to do something right off the bat and show you something that Google wants. Google loves content. Now, content sounds like that thing that people do when they're making a TikTok video, but for Google, it means that they have information coming in. I'm going to do the same with your competitor now. They have information on their web pages that the search customers that Google has will appreciate. Now, here is the difference. You have 942 and Legacy has 1,564. That is excellent because Google wants 1,500 words. They don't have to do anything. But you can sneak in and get, not much, without much effort, you can add more to yours and get 1,565. But why stop there? Go to 1,700. Do more than enough because that is what Google wants you to do. They want you to compete for their business, essentially, because they can make or break a business, which is unfortunate because they're not looking for the right things. Now, I'm going to tell you that all words are not equal. That's the next thing I can tell you. Now, here are your keywords. You have 226 keywords. That is a really good number of keywords. Keywords are the words from your industry that you use every day. They can also be words from Google searches that are looking for things in your industry, and they can also be from communities around you. So here are your competitors. You have 226. Legacy Roofing has 2,200. That is a pretty large step. And that is probably why they are up at the top, because after all of Google searches are with words. So having more words is better for the algorithm. Now, here are their keywords: Boise Roofer, roofing companies, Boise Roofers, Boise Roof Repair. As you can see, it's a lot of variations on a theme, but all of those different phrases and things like contractor is not the same as contractors, because the algorithm does not know our language. It only knows what words it's looking for. So if you have contractor and not contractors on your website, you're not going to come up. Here's the best way for me to explain that to you. Here is your site. I am going to try to find the word best. Here we go. You have one matching best. It is provide you with our best solutions. Now, here is what I was hoping I was going to find, and that is that you are the best roofer in Boise. Because if somebody types in that they are looking for the best roofer in Boise, guess who's not going to come up? Because the search is looking specifically for words that you type in that are matched on the sites that show up. That is a really basic one. If you don't brag, because Google does not does not fact check, if you are the best roofer, which I hope you think you are in Boise, then it should be on your website. No reason to be modest here. It should be on your website so that the folks who type that in can find your site easily. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you about is backlinks. That's where you appear on a different site, and there is a link back to your site on it. For instance, Yelp. Now, Legacy Roofing, you have 508. Legacy has a few less than you at 168, but I can tell you something right now. You should not have 508. A bunch of these are spammy backlinks, because you should not have much more than double this number. So you should have about 224. Legacy has 168. And again, they should only have about 88. So you're both doing pretty well with terrible backlinks. Let me show you what their backlinks are. Yellowpages.com, Yahoo.com, Dex Knows, Wealth of Geeks. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But GTE, there's a bunch of things down here that are, see, look what I'm talking about. A bunch of these are rated below 70. You do not want that. You want everything on your site to be rated, your backlinks, I should say, to be rated 90 and above, because these are the domain ratings. They are essentially sites that have a lot of backlinks themselves, meaning a lot of people refer to them for information for their customers. In other words, Google thinks that the more people that are talking about you, i.e. the more people whose sites you are on, the more important you are. That's how Google sees it. It's sort of like when a whole bunch of people talk about a guy, that guy becomes famous. The more people talking about him, the more famous he is. That's exactly what these backlinks are about. Now, this is where it comes down to it. Now, remember that Legacy is up here near the top. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 folks between you and them. 10 different listings between you and them. You had 304 clicks, as I pointed out earlier, for a value of about $4,300 according to this tool. That's what they figure in your market these clicks were worth. Here's what Legacy Roofing had, 503 for a value of $6,900. So that is a couple thou that is being left on the table because you are not up there. Now, as I've shown you, you are not that different. 226 with really good keywords. This is the one area where you're falling back. Backlinks, you win. You win that race. And domain ratings. Look, you have a 13 and they have a 13. So you're neck and neck there. It just is going to take a few tweaks inside your website for your website to start to be shown at the top of a Google search. And there is a numerical and currency value to having that be listed up there at the top. So listen, I hope I have given you some tips to help your website get better. Here they are again in no particular order. 1, do a Google business profile. 2, get better keywords. And 3, get better backlinks. With those 3 things, you will get to the top. Now, I assume that you're probably going to want to spend more time roofing. This is a beautiful job, by the way, than digging around in the belly of your website. And that's where I am hoping Shanique will come in handy. If you give her a call, she will be happy to guide you through the next steps. I hope I've been helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a great rest of your day.